to BHookedCrochet.com. I'm your host Brittany. In this tutorial I'm going to demonstrate how to crochet the Sweetheart applique. This is a free pattern that's available at BHookedCrochet.com, and you can find the link to that pattern in the description below this video. For this tutorial you're going to need any worsted weight yarn. I will be using Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton and a size 5mm crochet hook and a darning needle. To create the Sweetheart applique, we're simply going to create a slip knot. And now we need to chain 4. Now these 4 chains, 3 of which are going to count as a double crochet, and the other chain is going to be the chain where we start creating a ring, because a circle is the foundation for this applique. Once you've chained 4, you'll need to make 11 more double crochet into the first chain. This is the first chain that you created, the one right next to the slip knot. That first chaining of 3 we're counting as a double crochet for this pattern. So once you've finished making all of your double crochets, it's a good idea to count again and make sure that you have 12 total, and you'll include this chain 3. So you'll just need to locate the third chain, insert your hook, and slip stitch. Now we're ready for round 2. To begin round 2, we're not going to chain up any number of stitches because we're starting at the point in between the 2 curves of the heart. So this is the very center of the top part of the heart. The very first thing that we want to do is locate the third stitch from the hook. So we'll count this as 1, 2, and this is our third stitch right here. And we're going to double crochet 7 times into that stitch. So go ahead and yarn over and make 7 double crochets all in the same stitch. The next thing that we're going to do is make 1 double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. So starting with this next one here, we'll make 1 double crochet there, and this is 2 into the next stitch, 3, and 4. Now this stitch is going to be the point, so it's going to be the very bottom of our heart. So in order to create that point, we need to add 2 chains, and we're going to double crochet 1 more time into that same stitch. Now make 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And in the next stitch, we're going to make 7 double crochets again. The last thing that we need to do is slip stitch into that same 3rd chain. So if you look really closely here, you can kind of see where my chain was from that original chain 3 from round 1. So I'm just going to insert my hook just directly into that chain and slip stitch. And that's the last stitch for this applique. We can go ahead and bind off. And I'm going to demonstrate how to weave in your ends for this project, because you have to do a little bit of handiwork, as you can see, in order to make this point a little bit more pronounced so it looks like more of a heart. We'll start off by weaving in this end that's in the center. And now both of these ends I like to weave into the center of the heart, because that's where we have the most amount of stitches, so they're easily hidden and they don't work their way back out too easily. So I just take this and just start wrapping it around the center. The other thing that I do with this end is, after I've worked it about 3/4 of the way around the ring, then I can pull it pretty tight, and that's going to close up the tiny little gap that we had there. And then we'll just work it under a few more. And we can go ahead and trim off that tail. Now this next tail is pretty important because, like I said, we need to work with it a little bit in order to make our heart shape a little bit better. So what I like to do, looking at it from the back here, so this is the wrong side, you should be able to locate 2 loops that look kind of like this. I like to take the darning needle, go directly underneath those loops, and then just kind of work my way back to the center. And when you pull that, you'll see that it's going to pull up those little curves. It's going to close up the gap there that was in the center, and then it makes the shape a lot better on the other side. So once you've got that part taken care of, just wrap it or weave it in under a few more stitches. And that finishes up your applique. So these are super easy and very fast to make. On behalf of BHookedCrochet.com, I'm your host, Brittany. Stay tuned for more free patterns and video tutorials at BHookedCrochet.com.